Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Luis here with Green Zebra Gardening. Today we're at the plot. I've already gone through and kind of scuffed up the soil to get rid of all the little weeds and all the little volunteers since we use the community compost behind me. Alright, so now, also, if you guys have noticed the difference in quality of sound, I just hooked back up with my old VXR10 from Movo Photo. That's what I'm using. I was using it on my old phone on my 12 Pro Max. And so let's hope that this is better. I had the adapter from the mic to the lightning cable, but I just picked up literally like 20 minutes ago, maybe 40 minutes ago, the updated one for the mic to the USB-C because now I'm on a 16 Pro Max. So I know one of the biggest issues we have on YouTube is the mic, or sorry, yeah, the mic and slash sound quality. And I know that some people, or most people, will not stick around for a video if the video sounds like crap. So that being said, if you notice a difference, please let me know. If you don't notice a difference, please also let me know. Anyway, we're here at the plot. I went ahead and scratched this whole thing up. I don't remember where I put the tool I was just using. Oh, it's on the other side. And that's the other thing about having a community plot. You don't always use all these tools if you're at home or even at the plot. And so why buy all these tools? Like I would never buy this thing because I would never need it at home. If I had something like this, like an open space like this at home, then I would be fine with it. Although I don't know that I'd even use it in the beds. I really only use it in this area here. This is technically in ground. I have added more soil to it, so it is up higher than the regular ground. You can see this, sorry, this is the pathway. This is the actual growing space here. And so the space on the left is a little higher. You can tell it looks a little darker because it's been watered more. The right hand side, I might top it off with mulch because I think it kind of needs it. But all this, I went ahead and I basically just scraped it. I did shoot a video. I set it up over on that side down there, shooting towards me. What it is over here, I sit behind it and basically just scraped it all out. I had to be careful because I added the bird netting. That being said, let's show you the bird netting real quick. So I kept having things come up and digging stuff, and so I decided to get the bird netting. I actually ended up finding the hoops. I was using, and I'm still kind of using it in here, is the chicken wire, which might actually use back there because it's a little weird area back there. I do have another chunk of it somewhere, so I'm going to put it over there as well. And so I was using this for this area, but I still have something that's digging stuff out. One of the other gardeners, he actually just left like 5 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago. I asked him, I said, hey, what do you think is digging up on all this thing? As I was, taking out all the little weeds, all the volunteers. And he says, well, you're doing the right thing for the volunteers. He says, the thing that's digging it up is, he says, it's probably not birds. He says, it's either skunks or raccoons. So he actually recommended powdered cayenne just to sprinkle it all over. And that should, kind of get them away. So I might have to pick up I might just pick up like some cheap cayenne pepper and like from like the Dollar Tree or something like that. That way I don't spend that kind of money because I know spices ain't cheap. And so I'll just spread them all over. And then that way hopefully we'll go ahead and get that taken care of. That way they don't come back. He asked me what the ones around the trellis are. I don't know. I gave him the story of it was what I thought was sunflowers. They're obviously not sunflowers. So he's like, it's either cucumbers or melons. That's what he thinks. So we'll see. He was surprised and excited that the cherry tomato over here already has tomatoes. Told him it was volunteer, because of course it does. The Better Boy, I think this is the Kryptonite. I think that's the Lucid Gem. Black Beauty, Orange Peach, Random Cherry Tomato, and Green Zebra. He does like the watermelon here. I said, yeah, we have the watermelon in the middle. We have the watermelon over there. The basil's looking good. If you guys saw my video on the radishes, I did thin them out. Probably not as much as I should have, but I gave them a good thinning. I might go through back later and thin some more. I still have nasturtiums that are coming up. Off the top of here, I can see like 4 or 5. I can also see some plants I want to get out of. So I have the bird netting. I have the binder clips. So I'm going to actually, let me see if I set you guys up on one of these sides over here. I didn't realize how windy it was going to be down here, although I kind of thought it would be, but I wasn't 100%. So that, keep it out of the way. Fantastic. Okay. So, do the bush beans here. I think that's what these are. Let me move this up so I can sit. So these are obviously radishes. I think what these are all carrots. All that in there right there. And so then, so we have the zinnias, which I think I'm going to have to add more because it's only had a couple here that germinated. Some down there. So it's the zinnias, the bush beans, the ones I just put in the providers. No, sorry, the contenders. The beets, which again, I'm just going to leave alone just because they're supposed to be, you know, beets are supposed to be multi-sown, or it's something that's done. Multi-sown just means you plant them in clumps. One quote-unquote seed for a beet is technically a clump. It's like 2 or 3 seeds in that one seed, in that one clump essentially. And so as they size up, you'll just harvest out the bigger ones while holding the other ones in place, the smaller ones. That way the smaller ones will have time to size up and they'll have space. But anyway, zinnias, beets, zinnias, bush beans, beets, radishes, carrots. I did another row of carrots right next to that. Then I think this is where I did the row of calendulas. Oh, no, sorry, not calendulas. Marigolds. But I also just added in a row of onions. So we shall see how those go. Now. Alright, so you watch me seed a lot of stuff and I'm still not done seeding. But I wanted to do a quick clip in between this is to partially to remind myself of what I planted. That way I can probably go back to this. I'll try and remember to have all the stuff I planted in the bottom. Partially for you guys, so partially for me. Anyway, let me show you. Alright, that is one thing I don't like about using this mic. Depending on what I'm shooting or how I'm shooting it, I have to keep turning the mic around. Anyway, so I already showed you guys what I seeded in the middle. So just to recap of what I've done, because the last things I'm going to do is that one, this one, and then that one. So bush beans, carrots, the ones that are already coming up, carrots, onions, and I think there was something else I have, I don't remember what it was. Oh, and marigolds. So let me go out. I'm going to show you guys from the outside what I planted. So along right here, marigolds. Right along here, marigolds. All of this is just little weeds, so we're just going to do that. And basically just knocks them out. These are the unknowns. So we have marigolds. In here, in this section, no, actually, right next to it is marigolds. The section here is nasturtium. No, right. Oh, we did 3 rows of marigolds. 3 rows of marigolds. A row of marigolds here. Right along the bed here, we did 1 row of. Do I have it in my hand? Why can I not think of this name? Daikon. There we go. Daikon radish. And then we have the jeweled. So I did all the daikons. These are actually the seeds for the jeweled nasturtiums because I didn't realize how much more in there. So the daikons along here, there was one row, and there's another row of those jeweled nasturtiums. Right behind it is the marigolds. Marigolds here again. Same thing over here. 3 rows of marigolds. Another row of marigolds. And so that right there is pretty much that whole section in the back planted. What I'm going to try and do, is if I can find it, the chicken wire that I have been using for the middle of the bed over there, I'm going to try and cover this up as much as possible. That way it's blocking the way. So let me see if I can put you guys down. See if I can shoot that angle. Actually. Alright, so I went ahead and seeded marigolds, some onions in here, onions right in between here, marigolds over here, onions along the front, marigolds are behind them, and then here is just marigolds. And so for marigolds, all I essentially did was just make a small like little groove, dropped in a bunch of seeds, and literally just covered it back up. That's it. I don't know how it's going to work. I don't know what it's going to do, but we'll find out. And that is a wrap on the 10 by 10 plot today. My battery actually died towards the end of this after I finished watering. So I'm voicing over to show you the final results. In that center bed, we've got the bush beans, carrots, onions tucked in with some marigolds and nasturtiums. I also got the north end worked. More daikon radishes went over there. Don't forget that cayenne pepper trick for the pest. I'm curious to see how it holds up against the animals this week. I've got videos dropping every day this week, so stay tuned for the germination updates, and I will see you on the next one. Deuces!